And hello, everybody. It is Tom Chenault. It's the Legacy Leadership Radio Show with Tom and Denise Chenault instead of Tom and Adrian. And that's okay with me because today is going to be a spectacular show. And we've got my beautiful wife, the rock star. Hello, Denise Chenault. How are you?
Hello, Thomas. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing.
You two want to take a minute and catch up, see how things are going?
No, we're just going to. No, I'm actually looking at her camera, and I'm going to insist she comes upstairs and sits with me because
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, I'll sign off, and I'll see you in a minute.
Come up here and sit with me. So she's going to come up because something's going on with the light in her office, and she just doesn't look her normal, gorgeous self. And I do not want her being upstaged by Kimmy Brooke because I'll never hear the end of it. So that would be
what does my wife have to do to get her name on the thing?
On the bottom?
Everybody knows.
Oh, we'll change that. Oh, Christina, we will change that right now. So Richard Brooke normally sits back in the background on every show and complains about everything. The way I ask questions, the way I talk too much, the quality of commercials on GCN. So now we've got him live and in person to complain. So it's one of the best days of our life.
It's perfect, huh?
And I am on his magnificent momentum mastermind that he's doing right now with lots and lots of people. And he screws up more stuff. And yet one time have I ever, and he actually gave me permission yesterday because he goes, would you give me honest feedback of how I could do that show better? And I said, you don't have enough time, because I wanted to get even with him for all the stuff he's always said to me, but I didn't do it. So Richard Brooke, Kimmy Brooke, Denise will be right here. This show is going to be absolutely fantastic. Can't wait to have you aboard. And hello, Richard and Kimmy Brooke. How you doing, kids?
We're doing awesome.
We're good. We're good.
Well, the reason we want to do the show, and we're going to change your name. Can you add Kimmy Brooke, Andrew, to that screen so she doesn't feel all insecure? And you might even want to do. Janice had to haul a kitchen table all the way up to sit with me, but here we are. Hi, Denise.
Okay. Wow, I look so much better.
Yeah. So I'm going to lower you down so I'm not so much face. So Richard Brooke, Kimmy Brooke, back in Hawaii, done with your trip around the world, and tell me a story. How's life for you little honeymooners these days?
Well, we had a big fight this morning.
That's good news.
A big old fight.
Welcome home.
Yeah. But it's good to be home.
About who gets to talk the most on this show?
What's that?
I didn't hear that question.
Was the argument about who gets to do most of the talking on this show, or what was the argument? We're not talking about that. That's so exciting.
We're not going to rehash it.
Well, here
we are. The nice thing is we left it behind.
Basically, the argument was about who was smarter.
Oh.
Well, we're lucky it didn't go on for the rest of the year. Oh,
We both lost.
If we have an argument, we'll say, okay, that's it. We're done talking, it's salt, blah, blah, blah. We're over it. And then he rehashes it in public. Like what? Yes.
Like what Richard just did.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. Please go grab me a cup of coffee real fast.
Why?
Go grab it. It's important for the show. Go. Promise.
Cup of coffee.
I promise. Get me a coffee cup. That's all I need. Is one from downstairs.
A coffee cup?
Yes, from downstairs.
He's going to do something.
Yeah, he's going to do something. He's going to surprise.
It's important to this show. Okay. So here's the deal. For every one of us, I want you to visualize this show like you're sitting here drinking a cup of coffee, watching us in action together, because these people stayed at our house for a week. They are the best network marketing couple, I think, in network marketing. They work together like ham and egg. They both got their own different roles. They're not afraid to have things go on that, that people see out there in the world that it's hard to do. So I just want you to visualize a cup of coffee with me and sit here, grab your cup of coffee just like that. That's all I want. You just want.
I could have used my glass.
No.
We're the BLTs, Tom. We're just the BLTs.
So the
I'm
BLTs.
exhausted. All right, here's my cup of coffee.
Okay.
You're having this thing. You have to screw over them.
Okay.
Have we started yet?
This is the worst start to a show I've ever done, and I have to clean it up. So Richard and Kimmy Brooke, you're back from your honeymoon. You traveled the world. You really got to know each other in that motorhome. You came home. You got refocused and redriven. And what are you doing these days? And what's going on in network marketing for the world's power couple?
You take it away.
No, you take it away, honey.
Well, it was really great to be out in the RV, traveling across America and connecting with people. I think especially the last 2 years being in Hawaii, it's a great place to be, but we started feeling isolated and disconnected. And it was really awesome to get out there and reconnect with people face to face. So coming back to Hawaii from this trip together, first of all, we're still married. So we know if we can make a 4-month RV trip together, we can endure anything. Right, honey?
We can. And it was easy. Not without its issues, but we breezed through it. And it was a great trip. It was Kimmy's idea. And I said, okay, I'll go along with that. That sounds interesting. Of course, it wasn't as simple as she cast the vision that it would be. It was fraught with challenges and logistics and complicated, but it was well worth it. We got to see people, some people we saw, we may never see again just because of where they live and how often we get together, people we hadn't seen 10, 15, 20 years.
Wow.
And so it was a beautiful thing. We covered most of the or at least most of the United States, 27 states, 10,000 miles, but really nice to get home and get back in the saddle and get in our network marketing groove.
What's going on there, you guys?
The producer made us change seats so people could see the 4-year career over Denise's shoulder, because I'm such a moose, nobody could see it. So right behind you can see it back there. So that's what the wonderful Susie Silvestri pointed out. So we flipped over to make it look a little snazzier. So
the second half of this show is going to be much better.
I think one of the things, you guys, that I realized being out in the world again was how, for me, in building my business, it's all about that connection, and just really being face to face is so fabulous. I know you can build a business online, but for me, I really thrive and enjoy being face to face with people and having those connections, intimately, person to person. So it was really nice to get that sense back and get back out and connect with people.
Yeah. It was the stark difference between Zooming with people, emailing people, texting people, versus actually being able to sit down and have a cup of coffee or have lunch with them, or be in their home, or them be in the motorhome. It was the contrast was stark. And so the lesson that we learned from that we shouldn't have had to learn is, don't take face-to-face for granted. It's probably the best analogy is dating, right? If you're going to date somebody, how far are you going to go over Zoom? How impactful is it going to be over Zoom or texting or email compared to when you get heart to heart, face to face, belly to belly? And so we just really experienced that. It was awesome. And then, of course, it was great to be home and out of a suitcase and, back in the groove of doing business.
Well, there's nothing like traveling with someone to really get to know each other. and to be in close quarter. And it was not, I know you guys went through several different challenges, whether it was the RV or, health hiccups or whatever it was. So
your lawn was a big issue for us.
I can't believe you're still talking to us after your beautiful lawn issue.
The lawn will always remember you guys. Yeah.
Well, when you finally got out and they got it running and you almost ran over Denise Dunlap, that was the part. You missed her by about an inch because he revved up. He got stuck on our lawn because that $50 million motorhome just was sunk in our grass and we couldn't get out. So we had like 30 people push out. But when they finally got it going, he almost ran over about a 60-year-old woman. It was a horrible moment. So I'm so happy she's alive. That's all I care about. But
that makes a 60-year-old woman sound old, right?
Yeah.
It's like, So she was elderly. Is that what you're saying, Tom?
Yeah, she's ancient, man.
Oh my gosh.
How much money would I pay for 60 today? So, Richard, so true human connection is what you're talking about. Authentic human connection. And you're out there on the road, you're meeting people, you're mapping people, you're understanding what their lives are. You're understanding most of them have never heard of network marketing. They're living lives of quiet desperation. Is there any hope for this profession? I mean, there is so much opportunity there if we would just clean up our act and march forward with integrity, right?
Yes, there is. And, I know a lot of people are freaked out about our profession today and, the oversight and the criticism that we get and the hate groups and all that. But when you look at it over a long period of time, so I've been doing this full time for 45 years, this is nothing compared to the negativity and the critique 30 or 40 years ago, or the regulatory interference 30 or 40 years ago. This is a cakewalk. And most of the negative scrutiny that we get, Tom, as you know, is pretty well deserved, because most of the people in the profession exaggerate, they lie, they hype, they manipulate, they argue with people, they try to close people, they try to overcome all their objections, and they're not very good at doing that, and the people that they're doing it to don't like it. And then, a lot of people are promoting companies that just go out of business after out of business after out of business. And so we don't have a good reputation, but most of it's deserved. And we could do a lot better job of promoting the awesome part of our profession, because where else in the world can you start on a very, very part-time basis? You can live anywhere. All you need is a mobile phone, a smartphone, or a laptop or an iPad, and you can get mentored by somebody that's made a fortune with your exact same products and exact same opportunity. They'll mentor you for free. All you got to do is follow the footsteps, follow the breadcrumbs, be coachable, work part-time, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, build something that lasts a lifetime. There's no other place on the planet you can do this. And we don't have to lie about it. We don't have to exaggerate. We don't have to manipulate people. We just need to be us. Just be real, be honest, and trust that that's enough.
That's perfect. Let's go not talk through my break. So here we go. We are on Genesis Communication Network. We're the Legacy Leadership Radio Show. Denise Chenault, Kimmy Brooke, and her beautiful husband, Richard. We'll be back right after this. Okay, so we've only got about 30 seconds here to go, because we don't do the big commercials anymore, Richard, because you complain too much. So
All right, good. Thank you.
He was the reason.
Al knows the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah, and tell me when I've got 5 seconds, Andrew, because I can't use that. So I don't have a clock. I don't have a clock like you do. So
Tom, move towards Denise.
Move towards Denise.
Yeah, just a drop. There you go.
Don't sit on you, just move.
All right. And we're back. This is the Legacy Leadership Show with Tom Chenault, Denise Chenault, Richard Brooke, Kimmy Brooke, and we've got 2 people that are unbelievably powerful in this space, and we want you to hear from them. We don't want to talk. We want to show you that couples in network marketing are the power. And Richard and Kimmy have redefined it. She runs her own giant organization in a network marketing company by herself. Richard's out there generically trading. Never do the 2 meet, except that they're changing the world. It's beautiful. I've never seen a guy with more integrity around that whole conversation than Richard Brooke. You are my idol around that, Richard, and I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. So take it away, buddy. You guys, in fact, Kimmy, talk about it. How hard is it building a business in this day and age? Is it easier because of COVID or harder? And talk about all that.
I think it's what you make it, really. So, being out on the road, we saw a need everywhere we went. Every restaurant I walked into, I could see people who had energy, and I could just tell that this profession is waiting to touch their lives. So I don't think it's harder because of COVID. I think it's harder because of the stories we tell ourselves. And, I want to just kind of actually take a little sidestep over to building as a couple, because it's interesting. Richard and I have danced around finding the zone that works for us. And, in the beginning, we both wanted to, do everything together and, okay, we'll work on this project. And it just didn't work. And so what happened is we really had to define our roles, and we really had to agree to stay in our lane. And while sometimes we want to cross into each other's lane, we just remind ourselves that, oh, hey, this is my stuff, this is your stuff. And that allows us to both show up our best and to support each other in our best as well. So, if you're watching and you're a couple and you're having a tough time, one of the best things you could probably do is sit down with each other and really figure out where your strengths are, and then divide and conquer, versus both of you trying to do everything like we liked to do before. So just a little advice.
I have my lane that I try to stay in my lane. I'm in charge. That's my lane.
That is his lane.
I can't even fathom working with you if I were you.
Yeah. That's so funny.
I was just going to say that I know what I love about your story, Kimmy, is that when you were, barely getting by, working at Haley's school and going out for 3 months, I think you took people to lunch 5 days a week for 30 minutes on your lunch break. And that's how you built your original company that you were in that eventually went out of business. But that was how you built your organization. And you told your story. And I love that, because one of Richard's great gifts is teaching people how to tell their story. And so even though you each have your own lane, I think that you've kind of morphed a little bit into each other's lane, just because you're so, that telling your story is one of the most powerful tools we can use in network marketing. If, like Richard said, you do it with integrity and you tell the truth and you invite people in.
Yeah, Kimmy's story of how she built is so textbook of what people need to think about and study and learn. And she just did this very simple thing of, like, the work she did every day was just to make sure somebody was going to come and have lunch with her at this little cheap Vietnamese place, right?
Little Thai restaurant.
Little Thai restaurant. So that was the work she did every day. So the asks were, hey, would you just come and meet me for lunch? I got something I want to show you. And, I don't know this because I was there, but she's told me this story many times, and I can see it and visualize it. And that's the work that led to 25,000 people on her team and $1 million a year in income 5 years later, is just inviting people to lunch. And if you got a slot open, well, you got to make sure no matter what, you get somebody booked for lunch. That was just one way of doing it. Everybody does it kind of different, but that's the work that needs to be done if people want this business to pay off for them. That's the network marketing work, is you just got to keep asking enough people so that you do enough presentations, so that you end up enrolling enough people, so that you can get the geometric progressions rolling in your favor. There's never been a better time in our economy and society's never been a better time that I've seen, not even remotely as good as I see right now, where people are looking for what we're offering. I mean, they're quitting their jobs by the millions every quarter. Why? They just don't, they're done with, we've been talking about the 40-40-40 plan for, 20 years, that it's bankrupt and it's over. But hey, now everybody knows it's over now, and they don't want anything to do with it.
Kimmy, thank you for explaining all that to us. That was unbelievable. We're going to take a fast break right now. Why did you the microphone? We'll be back right after this. We'll be
Why
right
don't you
back.
quit taking breaks? I was talking.
He was on a roll. Jeez.
Can't you get a red light? How about, can you get a red light?
All you got to do is look in the comments, man. We got a private chat going there. It's got a comment.
I'm looking at the other people's comments.
Back
I don't
in
care
30
about
seconds.
your.
Oh
Back
my
in 10
God.
seconds.
Your
All right, tell me when we're back, Andrew. Tell me when we got 5 seconds. By the way, contactmapping.com/app. All of you people watching it, go there, please, and sign up for the Contact Mapping app so Adrian doesn't fire me. Here we go.
Contact Mapping, contactmapping.com.
And we're back. It's Tom Chenault. It is Denise Chenault. It is the Legacy Leadership Radio Show. We've got Kimmy, and Richard Brooke with us. Very long segment right here. We're talking about couples and network marketing. We're talking about 80% of the entire profession being women, and 2 women who have graced the stages of most powerful women in network marketing, all the giant stuff around the world. Really, really cool to have both of them here. Richard and I are trying not to talk too much and hog the microphone. So back to Kimmy Brooke. Before we go there, Kimmy, I want to know who wins the award for taking the very best picture of you of all time.
Oh my gosh. That would be Tom Chenault. Tom Chenault captured the shot. He did.
I'll never forget it.
I'll never forget it. And because you captured that shot, I love that we're all here live together, because now you guys can declare when you're coming to see us in Hawaii. We've invited you, and you keep on skirting the answer. So we want to hear it live with everybody when you're going to come out and spend some time with us.
Way to go.
Yeah. They're at a loss of words.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. Her birthday's March 21st. We'll come for that.
Deal.
Done.
Deal.
Done.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah, we'll come for that. That's a good idea. I'm looking for something nice to do for her. All right, good. So back to the show.
Yeah, back to the show.
This is a hard business that you do every day. I watched you, Kimmy, doing lives with a lamp in your, it was unbelievable watching you try to take care of Richard, handling those dogs, using that crazy little office in the motorhome. You guys have it dialed in. But one thing you never did on that trip was stop working, right?
Right. But, that's the great thing about our profession, is that it's just really a lifestyle. It's not, quote, work. Yes, it's work, and you have to put the hours in and you have to do the activities. But when you fall in love with it and you're just living in it, it doesn't feel like it's work. It just is part of your life.
Yeah.
Well, the consistency is huge. And you guys, the name of the books is a 4-year career. So tell people why 4 years?
Well, first of all, I have to say that I did steal the title from Richard. He allowed me to steal the title.
Yeah, we charged you.
My cover is a little prettier. You guys have his behind you. This is like Tiffany blue. Richard, you tell them why you named it the 4-year career, because you started the whole domino effect there.
Well, actually, I named it the 4-year career because the concept came from me pitching a bunch of marketing majors, freshmen at Drake University in 1979 on the idea of not quitting college, but working with me while they were in college. I laid out a whole plan for them. I pitched this to about 30 of them. We're going to work a couple hours a week is all when you're freshmen, because I know you're going to be really busy partying. And then we're going to work maybe 3 hours a week when you're sophomores, and 4 hours a week when you're juniors, and maybe 5 hours a week when you're seniors. And here's the vision and the plan is you're going to graduate with a residual income of $2 or $3 grand a month. This is 1979. And so you don't have to take the first job somebody offers you. You don't have to take any job. You can take a year and travel Europe. You can join the Peace Corps. You can go work on your grandparents' farm. You can live life a little bit, figure things out a little bit, as opposed to getting stuck in some job. That's where the 4 years came from. I liked the fact that what I was presenting was a process. It wasn't like get in, you're going to make a bunch of money overnight, because, the reality is network marketing, for it really to work, you got to allow the exponential growth, the geometric progressions to kick in. So you can go personally sponsor 50 or 100 people, But until you get 500 people on your third or fourth generation, or 1,000 people, until that grows exponentially, you don't really start making good money in network marketing. So it's not a get rich quick thing. It's not overnight. It takes a lot of work, especially the first couple of years. And then you got to fan the fire for a couple of years, and you start to get paid in the 5th year. It's the whole marshmallow thing. You know, you guys have probably all heard that Stanford study. Give a bunch of 7-year-old kids a marshmallow and tell them if they don't eat it, they're going to get another one in 10 minutes. But if they eat it, they don't get any more. Half the kids ate the marshmallow. Then they tracked them for the next 20 or 30 years. The kids that ate the marshmallows, it's not that they had horrible lives, but the kids that didn't eat the marshmallow, that went for the delayed gratification, they had far greater lives, health, happiness, and wealth.
I'd have stolen the bag. So
I
that's
hate that stuff. I hate watching those videos because the poor kid look and then they're like crying.
Unfortunately, it seems like today there's a lot more marshmallow eaters. You know, we're so used to getting everything so quickly. So people, they lose sight of the idea of this long-term asset they're building. And if they don't get that instant result, they're like, oh, this doesn't work. So I think that's the piece where we, all of us who are listening right now, can do a better job of setting that expectation for people that it is at least 4 years and not a 3-month, 6-month program. So yeah.
it's so inspiring, and I don't even know why I'm shamelessly plugging your Momentum Masterclass, but I also love that you really emphasize those legacy companies where grandparents are given the business to the kids, and then the kids are given those Shackley people and stuff like that, Richard, and the Amway people, old and tired, rich and successful. It's amazing to me. And thank you for always bringing us back to that, because this is a business that you build it right. It's for your grandkids. Denise and I are at that point right now where, we're looking at which kids we're going to cut out of the will.
You go just straight to the dog.
That's exactly right.
But, and I think, Tom and Denise, when people understand the payoffs down the road and how significant they can be, that's what motivates them to do the work. It's a pretty simple equation. If you understand the payoffs, if they're big enough and you believe in them enough, you'll do the work, because the work is really easy, right? So Kimmy, what was the work she did to become a millionaire? She just got somebody to have lunch with her every day. So she probably had 5, 6, 7, 8, 800,000 people in her phone. What'd she do? She just started at the top and lunch. Any of us could do that.
Right.
The remarkable thing I find about our profession is, in the class, we talk about telling your story once a day to somebody, anybody. It doesn't have to be lunch, just tell it over the internet or something. And the percentage of people that don't do that are pursuing a significant income is like 99%. 99% of the people in network marketing just don't do the work. Yet the work's really simple if you're motivated. Now, if you're not motivated, it's hard. If you got a lot of stories about, what are people going to think? And everybody's going to say no, and I'm bothering people and I'm using it. If you got all those stories, it's really hard. But if you got the right story, it's really easy. Probably only takes 15 minutes a day. But in order to be motivated to do the work, you got to understand the payoffs. And Kimmy was one of those people, you, Denise, myself, we just understood the payoffs and believed in them and did the work. Simple as that.
And just trying to find the people who are open.
Leaning up against the door, because they are. People are leaning up against the door. All we got to do is open the door. Just keep it opening doors until somebody falls in.
That is a tremendous idea. And again, why do women, going back to it, why are women so this profession instead of the men? Are the men just too lazy? To what? Why isn't it that I can't get my friends to catch fire like Kimmy and Denise?
I kind of think, women are so much more communal, community, get together, gather. You guys are like me, man, football.
Good call.
It is interesting because most of the time, if you talk to women, they go, "Oh, I'd love to do that, but I'm not a great salesperson." That's what I hear all the time. And so, and I think that men go, "Oh, I can manipulate this. I can get, I can twist their arm. I can get them in," which may work, in the short term, but it does not work long term. And once you really just establish it, it's just about building relationship and about community, like you said, Kimmy. Then it's all over. Then it's just bringing people in, and people want to feel a part of something these days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Women are so much better than that, and I'm better at that. So
better than that.
Better at that. I was just noticing, like, one of the great gifts of this profession is I'm looking at Susan Sabo, who's on.
I love her.
Yeah, and Susan made a comment that Kimmy reached out and grabbed an orphan and raised Susan Sabo up. But this is the essence of the beauty of our business. Yes, we can all create our own wealth, but nothing compares to the feeling of sponsoring somebody, coaching somebody, nurturing somebody, putting Humpty Dumpty back together, however many times it takes, running with them, locking arms with them, and then having that person rise up out of their financial challenges and despair and become financially free. And, Stephen and Susan Sabo have a financially free business, a income that'll last forever because of their work, but Kimmy's mentorship. That's just the most extraordinary thing. I mean, where else in life can you do that? Where else in life can you give that kind of gift to other people?
It's beautiful. I agree with you. And, to be able to change, because I love you, and we're going to a break, so I'm going to talk for a second. So, Richard, really quickly, we can't sell them the momentum. That ship's sank. Sorry, I'm floating. Sail. It's not sank. Sail. What are you selling them now? Where can they go to figure something out to buy?
Figure something out to buy?
Yeah. What are you doing next? Hurry.
Go to my website and poke around. richardbrooke.com. BROOKE. What I probably am going to do next is a Mach 2 transformation course, like a 4-week course based on the book Mach 2. Here, let me show you the book. Here's the book right here.
Thank goodness. It's
Let's
beautiful.
go to break. Hey, we got to go to break.
We got you. We're going to a break right now. We're on the Genesis Communication Network. All of you, please go to contactmapping.com /app. It'll change your life. We'll be back right after this.
I thought we were talking about richardbrooke.com.
I flipped it. We're off the break. Tell me when. I got 5 seconds, Andrew.
Oh my God, I'm sweating so bad.
Contact what? Contact who?
We're back. Shut up.
Thank you, honey.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And we're back. It's the final segment, thank God, of the Leadership Radio Show with the fabulous Kimmy Brooke and her.
You guys are our favorite couple. We love you so much. Thank you for having us together.
You know what? We could hang out with you in Hawaii. We'll stay at least the weekend. It'll be awesome. We'll go out on your boat. Then we'll go for a hike with the walking stick. And it'll be a blast. I mean, I'll never forget when you and I spent so much time, all three of us, in Noosa. Remember?
Yeah.
Australia.
Oh.
Why weren't you there, Denise?
She went to a silent meditation with what?
I was at.
You ever heard of Byron Katie?
Oh, how cool.
Oh, how horrible. So she said, I'm doing that. I said, great, I'm going to Hawaii with Brooke. And I just knocked on their door and they put me up in Hawaii. So you guys need to know this profession will take you all over the world with unbelievable people. It won't be easy. It won't be a short time, but it is worth it, right, Kimmy Brooke?
Yeah, I love how he always hands it to me.
He doesn't want
you to
He doesn't want me to answer this.
I mean, I think the saying came from Richard, the work is worth it. And it's more than worth it because it's true. Where else can you go and create exactly what it is you want out of life without spending, tons of money on college loans? And it's just like, if you had told me 20 years ago this would be the trajectory of my life, I would have never believed it, first of all. And then once I got started in network marketing and I was sitting around the boardroom at the school I worked at, and I'm listening to this mom talking about her daughter trying to get a job, and I was thinking, why doesn't everyone in the world do network marketing? Like, I can't wait for that day when everybody out there looks at our profession as the greatest profession that there is, because everything in life that's hard, right? Everything that you want is worth working hard for. So why not work hard for something that you can create your own lifestyle with? We were watching this show on 60 Minutes, a segment on a gal who was I think she was like the president of LinkedIn, and she was commenting about who's quitting their jobs right now. And it's women from, I think, was it like 35 to 50.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just this whole huge need right now for people to be working from home. They don't want to go back to the job. They don't want to do what they were doing before. The Great Resignation is an opportunity for all of us to impact so many people who right now today are open that probably weren't open 3 years ago.
It's so true.
Well said.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the pandemic has really opened our eyes and brought to the surface what's really important to all of us. And for women, especially at childbearing age, they want to have different options. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah, we want different options. We want to, one of the things I can never get back is the time I lost with my daughter. And I mean, you do what you got to do. If you got to go and work 2 jobs, you do that to provide. But, to be able to be at home and cook dinner and breakfast and, have the conversations and the nooks and crannies of when you're not doing your work is just really special.
I can tell you that Haley now, who's 24, she has just blossomed. I mean, Tom, you've been a great help with her. She's had her challenges like, all of us did growing up, but I mean, she's just growing into a powerful, creative, confident, worldly leader that is looking to contribute. And I credit so much of that to what Kimmy learned in network marketing, the leadership, the personal development. I mean, yes, Kimmy was building while Haley was growing up, but at least Haley got to travel the world with Kimmy while she was building. And then, Haley's in the time, maybe the kids don't realize what they're learning and what the environment is. But now that she's old enough to appreciate the lessons, you can see her growing into just being an extraordinary leader based on the environment that Kimmy, nurtured for her and provided for her. And, I just, what do you learn in college? I'm not against college at all, but, what do you learn in college? Do you learn leadership? Do you learn public speaking? Do you learn confidence? Do you learn self-motivation? Do you learn listening to be present? Do you learn like building relationships? Those are the things that really matter. Those are the things that transcend the trends and will allow you to have a beautiful life. And, that's one of the other great things that Kimmy has created with her success in network marketing. And you guys have too with your kids. They're the beneficiary of this, not just the money, but the character.
I think that was one of the most surprising things about this profession is the relationships that we have built over the years, 20 some years, and the positivity. And, the people that we hang around with, you don't hear any resignation. You don't hear the hopelessness. You don't hear, and it's all about lifting each other up. And those lessons, whether the kids sitting in the back of the car overhearing a conference call or a Zoom, it's like it does get passed on.
Okay, we're getting out of here. So you guys,
Is it
here's the
already
deal.
time?
Yeah. So here, no, we're going to continue the show after the show. So stick around, everybody. But between here and there, if you're listening on the 550 radio stations around the world, go to FraserBrooks.com. No, go to RichardBrooke.com, RICHARD, Brooke.com, or contactmapping.com/app. We'll see you all next week. We love you for listening. Kim Kiyosaki coming up. It's going to be great. We'll be seeing you next week.
I don't have any pants on.
Awesome. Well, you did a great job. We made
You
it.
did that just for you, Tom.
We're still on Facebook, so don't say anything
I
profane.
told him about your
Popcorn.
underwear during the convention that you had on. Richard doesn't have pants on.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Let's see.
Oh,
Stand up.
you're on Facebook. You're on Facebook still. Oh my gosh.
Oh, my
But man,
goodness.
he's got good legs.
So here's what happened. Once you guys
You
know.
just showed all of Facebook your bibbities.
Okay, so hang on.
It's the Zoom
No
era.
shame. No
Wait a
shame.
second.
It's Zoom era. This is how we do it. You think I wear
Anybody
this
still
shirt
on
all
here
the
is going to
time?
get some bonus information
That's
right
like,
here.
oh my gosh.
And notice
Oh my
the word
gosh.
bonus information, not boner, because Kimmy Brooke, you guys know my obsession with bathtubs. So Kimmy decides one day to shoot a picture full frontal of Richard asleep in the tub, forgetting he was naked. So I am one of the only guys on the planet with a full frontal naked picture of Brooke in the tub. So we are going to have a special auction for the ANMP.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no, we won't. Which are you more upset about, the picture or the ANMP, bro?
Put a
The
little
NMP.
Oh, my God, that's awesome. I love you guys. And all you guys watching, thank you so much for sticking around. And, yeah, and the lady almost ran over with the motorhome, watched the show. So Denise Dunlap, I just called you.
Hi, Denise. I'm sorry, Denise.
That was so close.
Good story
She was
for
like-
Denise.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I want you to know, Tom, Susie and I, well, she does the work because I'm not good at it, but I got an email this morning from a friend of mine, and he copied, like he CC'd like 3 other people that are all in really interesting niches in business, people I would never know, never come in contact with. And he included me in a conversation. And I immediately forwarded it to Susie and I said, hey, we got to contact map these people. We got to get them in the system because I'm never going to remember who they are. But these are really fascinating people. Like one of them was, I think, the VP of sales of Post Ranch Inn, right? Which is a real famous exclusive place in Big Sur, California. So now I've got his name. And if Kimmy and I ever want to go, or you ever call me and say, hey, who do you know at the Post Ranch Inn? Because of contact mapping, I'm going to have him.
Yeah, and he's in your hand all the time, and you can Google your
You
brain.
should contact map his contact map.
Yeah. No, oh no, Richard and I. Hey, do you want to talk about my 70,000 YouTube views this week?
Wow.
Yeah.
Tom Chenault is the network marketer's network marketer. I mean, if I ever need somebody, if I ever need something, if I ever need to get interviewed by somebody, if I ever need to interview somebody, I just call Tom. And boy, you really knocked it out of the park this week with Dr. Finance.
Who knows? You know, I am like Dr. No Info, like Dr. Not even a GED. And this guy calls me out of the sky blue because I was on Clubhouse and I saw, so he says, I want you to come on my podcast, which I hear a lot, you know, we both do. And, you know, there's never anybody. This guy had interviewed everybody. I was so scared because I knew this guy knew I was going to be a blithering idiot. And his show's like over an hour. And I knew that like 5 seconds into it, he was going to be wanting to kill himself because I am so shallow. It's unbelievable. So I even made Adrian go with me. And we were the longest podcast in history for this guy. And we're already at 70,000 views in 5 days. And he's a
Wow.
machine. And yeah, I love him. So so I told him I have another deep friend named Richard Brooke. So you're next.
I can beat 3 hours easy by myself.
It was unbelievable.
This guy likes to talk.
But Richard, take your wife, please. She's so much, in fact, I have a text here. Here, where is it? What's it say? Does she really love him, or is he just a trophy husband?
Perfect.
I can't believe that.
I can promise you, she really, really loves me.
Yeah.
Because I may have a fading, iconic trophy husband image, and it is fading. But the real deal is totally different than a trophy husband.
You guys have gone through a lot this year.
So at the end of the day, everybody, and there's a goofy thing on there. There's a comment in the comments, and Adrian knows how to remove those, but we don't. So there's some goofballs from Russia or something throwing some.
Hey, and don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it looks like, yeah, so that's what it was. So, yeah, that wasn't supposed to knock Russia. But at the end of the day,
Ukraine.
Yeah, at the end of Ukraine. At the end of the day, everybody, please track down Richard Brooke. And there's actually a virtual momentum masterclass that he doesn't remember that he set up that's even available to you now, according to Susie. So he's the anti-salesman of all time.
I want to sell. Can I sell about his Mach 2 for a second?
Yeah,
Can I share a
please
story
do.
with you guys? So before Richard and I were actually even a couple, I went and did his Mach 2 vision workshop. And what I worked on during that session was my vision around attracting my soulmate. And I used his book and I wrote my vision, and look who came to fruition. So his work is powerful. This work on vision is so important for what we do in our business. It really is the centerpiece of being able to achieve success is what we tell ourselves, what we want to go out and get, what we create as our vision. And so much of our vision is the negative vision instead of the positive vision. So if you're struggling at all around, the steps you're taking in your business, for sure, read the book. And I didn't know you were doing another workshop, but check out his workshops because they are powerful.
And he called me a couple of days ago because I signed up for his Momentum Masterclass, and he thought I was just going to phone it in. And he said, Tom, what are you really going to get out of this thing? And I told him what I wanted to get out of it. And he about swallowed his cigar, because honing my skills as a master of enrollment is something that I live my life to do. And that first course that I did, and it was free, that introductory thing was so strong that I saw holes in my boat that I could fill with what I was going to learn from Richard Brooke. So all of you need to go after that. And that podcast, I think they're going to put it in the comments or on the screen, is just go to YouTube and look for Dr. Finance. Yeah, there he is. See?
Tom, I love that you're still studying. Like, that is so cool, because sometimes people get to a certain level and they're like, I've got it all together. So I think that is so awesome.
Yeah, I have to, man. I got to stay ahead of the whippersnappers. So yeah,
you got 1 million people on your team, and there's some of the younger ones that are they're vying for your job. They want to take over the top position.
They're trying to kick me off so fast. It's which is really, really great. I want people to knock me out of my post, because every time they do that, I get a raise.
Bring it on.
So bring it on. So we love all of you. We love you, Kimmy and Richard. We are going to do our next live show with Kimmy and Richard Brooke right around March 22nd.
You guys heard it here, right here.
Yeah, we're from Hawaii. We'll do it live from Hawaii. So that's not that far away. I'm going to Dubai in 19 days for 10 days without her. That's going to be so lonely. It'll be like going to Noosa. Woohoo! So it'll be unbelievable. I'll hang around with the other Brooke, Fraser Brooks. Stefan.
That's my son. Take good care of my son.
Who's your son? Oh, yeah, see your son, Fraser?
Take good care of him.
Yeah.
I think Eric's over there right now. So I love you guys. Talk to you all later. Thanks for watching.
So much.
Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.
Aloha. Bye, guys.
Jim Packard, I love you.